What's up, everybody? Welcome to AEW Uncensored. How's it going today on this beautiful Sunday rainy day over here in the East Coast in the U.S.? Um, you can catch us every Sunday, 3:05 Eastern Time in the United States on Sundays. So, um, as always, please like, share, subscribe. Shout out to anybody on Facebook. What's up? Let me hear you in the chat. I'd like to see who's watching. Um, please like, share, subscribe. Again, same on Facebook. Like, share, and subscribe. Uncensoredalliance.com. You find everything we do. We are on Twitter, AEW Uncensored. Email AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. On Facebook, we have a page and a group. Just throw in the search bar AEW Uncensored Podcast. The page will come up. Like the page. The group will come up. Join the group. We're on all third-party podcast applications, including Google Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeart Radio, and iTunes. Please write us a review on iTunes. We'd appreciate that. And as always, if you want to come on the show and get your opinions across to the masses, hit us up on Skype. We'd love to have you on the show. All right, so shout out to everybody right there on Facebook, everybody watching on YouTube. Wow, John, I didn't see John, man. Where's John? John, you here? John usually give me a shout out before every show, so. But yeah. Again, Alan is gonna be away for a while. I don't know if Alan will ever return. That's kind of my that's kind of what I've been saying. He's saying he will sometime next year. I don't think he will, but he's having an existential midlife crisis. Not self it's a midlife crisis that he didn't put upon himself though. So I will say that. So he's dealing with some shit right now that he had no real control over. So we love you, Alan. Hopefully everything goes smooth with what's going on with you. So, but all right, let's get going here, man. So I believe Dynamite. Let me see. Dynamite is gonna be on Saturdays, I believe, coming up soon. Should have did a little, a little People know, no research, man. Yeah, but I believe coming up soon they're gonna be, yeah, right here, October 23rd. They're gonna be on. That'll be a Saturday show. So, what else? I believe it was 2 weeks in a row. So look out for that. Just keep an eye out because yeah, October 16th is another Saturday edition. So I believe it's those 2 weeks. I don't know if it's going to go beyond that. I don't recall, but I do remember it being two shows. So keep an eye out for that, guys, just so you know. All right, let's get into Dynamite. What happened this week? We had we start off with Super Elite versus Jurassic Express, Danielson and Christian. Now, there's some stuff in there was like this spot in the show where you get a guy in the corner. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little sick right now, so you get a guy in the corner and you're banging on their face and they get the 10 count. Well, the fans are so far up their own ass that they're just chanting Luchasaurus rather than really getting involved in the match itself. Christian's beating down Cole in the corner with it should be like, in my opinion, I mean, the fun part of that spot is fans counting with that 1, 2, 3, 4, get to 10 or whatever, and instead they're busy chanting Luchasaurus. I don't know, Luchasaurus. People are still on that guy's train. I mean, that guy he's hasn't really done shit in my opinion. He's really not entertaining. He's very he doesn't he's not smooth in the ring. Everything looks set up. So I don't know. I just felt like the fans are up their own ass. It was almost like the what chance in New York. You know, like New York, you're still on the what chance? Come on, man. Like, open it up, you know? Anyway, another note from this was really Kenny Omega without the Bucks he's fucking great, man. But when he gets with the Bucks, he starts to do their over the top goofy bullshit that they're doing, you know? The facials and this and that, and it just annoys the fuck out of me because he's doing such good heel work when he's not with them that it's almost like just keep them away from each other as much as humanly possible, which it seems like they were doing for a little bit there. So, then there's a stupid fucking spot where everybody got to get their shit in, you know, with the back to 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 back dives. You know, everybody's got to fucking do the same dive onto the new, you know, one guy goes out, boom, now there's 3. Then the next guy goes out, boom, now there's 4. Then the next, then you got the whole fucking match is in one pile waiting for the last guy to dive on him. Can we fucking get away from this fucking lame shit already? It's just really fucking annoying. And of course you got 4 guys who couldn't get on the same page to get Luchasaurus up for a sit down powerbomb. So Botchamania will take that. I'm sure. I'm sure they probably already have. So it started out like, you know, you guys know me. I hate these fucking multi-man matches. So, you know, when there's too many people, it started off pretty smooth and clean, like a regular tag match, you know, but of course by the end it really got to become a messy fucked up match that, you know, everything and anything is happening at the same time. So, anyway, another fucking match I could give 2 shits about. You know, it's like as much as I like certain guys within the match, I don't know. Tony Khan got this thing with fucking multi-man matches and allowing these matches to not be worked clean and just fucking break down into constant melees. It's just annoying. Then we get Moxley promo after that. After that is a Punk promo. Punk's is in the ring. Moxley's was backstage, little pre-tape. So with the Punk promo, he's out there. I mean, this guy's pandering like a motherfucker, right? Which they all do. I mean, and it makes sense. Pander out there. That's what you get the pop from. But he's literally pandering and saying how he lived in Philly for years. You know, I know he was big on the East Coast indie scene back in the day, and you know, Ring of Honor and stuff. So, you know, I believe Ring of Honor was based out of Philly, and you know, is or was based out of Philly, whatever. But he fucking says cheesecake instead of cheesesteak. If there's anything on the planet that everybody knows, Philly is synonymous with cheesesteak. And he's sitting here saying, I lived here, I trained people here, and he says cheese fucking cake. Oh my god. Anyway. Fucking brutal, man. He challenges Daniel Garcia on Rampage. Says, you know, you attacked me, blah, blah, blah. And he wants his pound of flesh. So, obviously, that's going to happen. At the end, he's walking out, and he actually took off his Jordan 1s and gave them to a kid in the front row dressed as Orange Cassidy. That was pretty cool. Then we get a promo with Arn. Arn's in the back of a house with a metal barrel burning clothing. Oh, John, what is up? I was wondering where you were, brother. I was getting nervous. Making sure all is good. Shout out to John. John's always with me. You know, I'm missing Jimmy. Jimmy's been out there on the Oompa Loompa scene, doing some guest previews. We got fucking Simon says he ain't fucking been around, and we got Alan having a midlife crisis, right? Again, not self-inflicted. And the tried and true, good old John. And where's Big Dub? Big Dub is he's working, I'm sure. So shout out to John. What's up, brother? So all right, so we got Arn out there. He's burning a suit. He's burning some suit clothing in a metal barrel, and all of a sudden Cody comes out and he asks what the hell Arn's doing in his backyard, and Arn tells him to get the fuck down there, basically. And one of the funniest parts of this was there was a couple funny parts, but Cody, when he finally gets down on the ground, he goes, "Well, Arn, what are you gonna do? Shoot me?" I thought that was pretty fucking funny. A good little a good little lay-in from some heat that came off of Arn with the gun thing, last week. So I thought that was funny. He says Cody threw his people away. He might as well paint his star on his face, which was another good shot where, you want to be a star. And, of course, going back to his Stardust gimmick, he tells Cody to give him his tie. And he says, "Listen, Arn, I get it. You don't have to burn the tie." Arn slaps the shit out of him, which was fucking... I loved it. And then Cody takes the tie off and tosses it. I mean, he had the tie off and then he tosses it in the fire. I really liked this segment. I liked it was dark. It had that little funny thing with the, what are you going to shoot me, Arn? It was funny, but it was not too funny, not too goofy. That's like funny that I enjoy, something subtle that, refers back to something that happened a week prior and kind of trying to take a little sting off of it, and then I just like that Arn's basically like, you're trying to be Hollywood and, you're fucking up. So I like this. Really good segment. Sammy and Bobby Fish were up next. It was a good match. I got to be honest, I didn't focus too much. I really wanted to, but it didn't really start clicking with me, so I really kind of... And I'm a big Sammy fan. Sammy's great in the ring, but I just didn't... It didn't keep my focus. At the end, you had ATT come out, and they attacked Sammy. So this was cool, man, because they all came out. They started attacking Sammy. Fuego comes out to help eventually, and then he gets beat down, and finally you get Jericho and Hager join in, and they run off American Top Team. Lambert again cuts another great promo. He says they're coming to Miami, and that's his turf. That's their turf, and only one king of Miami, and that's Jorge Masvidal. So he goes, and if you need a reminder with the knee, the whole knee thing. So I love that they're using that knee gimmick for Jorge and in AEW and all that. It's really, I mean, if there's a thing that you could bring into pro wrestling, it was that whole knee thing, So I'm really hoping Masvidal does something in AEW. That would be fucking awesome. But he also challenges Jericho, Hager, and Sammy to a match against the Men of the Year and JDS. Now, this part was really cool to me because I can't wait to see Junior Dos Santos wrestle. Me being an MMA guy, I'm not the biggest JDS fan, but I mean, it's just, in my opinion, it's a very cool tie-in with the two companies. And obviously next week they'll be in Miami, so that is the home turf of ATT. Very cool. Looking forward to how it plays out. Looking to see how JDS is looking. I wonder if he's been training. And you could protect him in a 6-man tag match where even if he's not that great, he could hide a lot of it in there. So next up we had a promo with the Acclaimed, and they have a match with the Lucha Brothers on Rampage. They basically just talk about that. So that was pretty cool. Now during the show, they were saying, "Oh, Tony Khan has an announcement. Tony Khan has an announcement." And my ears perked up, and I go, "Oh, shit, Tony Khan's going to actually come out and say something." Because he doesn't do that often. He very, very rarely comes out on television. He'll come out during, between tapings and stuff and say stuff and at the end of shows. But on TV, he really doesn't come out too often. So I'm waiting. And then we get the next segment. Tony Schiavone in the middle of the ring with Aubrey Edwards. Aubrey obviously has a belt in a velvet bag or satin bag, whatever you want to call it. Now, as this is going on, I'm going, this was the Tony Khan announcement. Where the fuck is Tony Khan? Not Tony Schiavone, Tony Khan. Anyway, they unveil, okay, before I say what they unveiled, we all know what they unveiled. I was like, a 6-man tag? Worst fucking idea ever. Then I go, oh, wait. The women are starting to wear matching tag gimmicks? And I'm like, oh, no. There is something worse than a 6-man tag. It's a woman's tag. But no. There's something even worse than a 6-man tag, a woman's tag. There's a fucking woman's secondary title, the women's TBS title. How about we get women that could actually work before we put another title out there? You have, out of all the women in your company, you have maybe 4 or 5 women who could actually work good, solid, strong matches 98% of the time. So why do we need a fucking women's secondary title? I don't get it. But hey, what the fuck do I know? You guys all love the women for their tits and ass. I know. That's obvious from all the Facebook postings. All right, then we get a Darby promo. It's more like it's not really a promo. It's a sit down with JR. I really like this one. It was the intimacy of it, the person being the little personal look at Darby, and he actually opened up in this too, which was cool. It really adds another dimension to Darby other than this brooding guy, So I really liked it. Then that leads into the Darby versus Nick Comoroto match. Again, nothing special here. Wasn't a match I really cared much for. You knew Darby was going over. Comoroto, I think he's got talent. And once he moves off of that Nightmare Factory bullshit, or the Factory, it'll be probably better off for him. John in the chat says, new title looks terrible. If you really look at it, it says hose. Yeah. Well, I mean, just the way the TBS logo is. And you know what I dislike about the title? I won't say it looks awful. Maybe they could have spaced out the TBS slightly more. What I dislike about the title is it's almost a spitting image of the TNT title. And it's got more pop than the women's title, the world title. So the women's world title. So why? I don't know why you had to get a belt that's almost identical to the men's belt, the men's secondary belt. It kind of just fucking, I don't know. To me, it's stupid. And I mean, size-wise, I'd like to see it next to the TNT title and or on one of the women, because obviously, the women's world title, the first one was way too small. Second one's nice. It looks like perfect size. If the TBS title is as big as the TNT title, that's going to be weird, It's going to match the, like the Cody action figure that came with the TNT title. The TNT title was so damn big, it's just like, compared to the figure, it's pretty funny. So it's almost I almost feel like it might be the same scenario with the women's title comparative to the action figure, where the title just looks humongous on the person. So we'll see. Maybe it's just visually, but even when in Aubrey's hands, it looked pretty big. So then we get a Dark Order promo. They're basically now back on the same page. Uno says, "Listen, I didn't always make the best decisions for us, but going forward, we'll vote on it." So it's now a democracy. Listen, I always do that. Accidentally hit the space bar as I'm moving my keyboard and muted myself. So anyway, oh man, we all know democracies don't work. Vote for it. Yeah. I vote for a lot. I don't get it. Next up, Dante Martin's in the ring with Tony Schiavone. Um, okay. Dante Martin is like fucking 12 years old. Now, a pet peeve of mine is Tony Schiavone's in the ring for a reason. He's in the fucking ring to conduct an interview, to hold the mic and conduct an interview. A lot of these veterans grab the mic and start talking, ba ba ba. Why have Tony Schiavone? Okay, so again, we get Tony Schiavone in the ring with a mic with Dante Martin. What does this fucking kid that's got not even a fucking dick dribble of piss in the business do? He takes the fucking mic from Tony Schiavone. And he goes into his own fucking tirade. Oh my God. I love Dante as a wrestler. The kid's impressive, not as a wrestler in general, just in terms of his Cirque du Soleil shit. I don't mind his stuff. He doesn't really have a gimmick going on, so he's an entertaining match. Very entertaining. He's very talented. If he can mix some psychology and some slowing down in there, I mean, I'm sure he can, and he could start doing some good promo work. He definitely could be a star. He can be more than just a Cirque du Soleil piece of the act. But anyway, really fucking bad move of him to grab the mic. Really bad move of them to let him grab the mic. I dislike it. I am not a fan of it. He basically challenges anybody. He says, "Listen, I've done this, and this. I believe, I forget who he mentioned. Who do you have the match with? I feel like it was Jericho where he took him to the limit. Anyway, he challenges anybody in AEW that AEW could bring him. The lights go out. Now, the lights go out. You were expecting Aleister Black, but you never knew. Of course, Aleister Black pops up behind him. As soon as Dante's in shock and turns around, he gets misted in the face, and then gives him a little extra with a spinning heel kick to the face. So, Aleister Black accepts his challenge. I really think, honestly, this could be a really good match. Because Aleister Black's fun. He's a good wrestler. He could do some shit. And Dante really could put on a show. So I'm looking forward to that. Next up, we have Ricky Starks with a promo. He's out there in the ring, so he says he wanted to wrestle Brian Cage, but he didn't show up for work. Kind of like playing off the Cage is disgruntled. You almost believed it for a second, but he says I was going to challenge him to a Philly street fight, but him not being there or whatnot. Then of course Cage's music hits, and he runs in and attacks Starks. Then Hobbs and Hook pull him to safety. So that leads into what we're going to talk about after this show, which was the Philly street fight on Jesus Christ, on Rampage. So, okay, now, for me, this next match was something that I was really I was really souped about this match, because I know Shida could work, and I know Serena Deeb could work. So, Shida's going for her 50th win. Ringside, they have a plaque, a crystal plaque that says Hikaru Shida, 50th, first woman to 50 wins, or whatever it said. So when they announced this, I was super pumped for this. I knew that this could be a great match. I was so concerned though that they might do something in the match to mess up. Because I'm always rooting for these two, because they're so good. So every match they're in, I'm looking forward to it, and kind of like, that's like, for me, it's like, oh, but we have these women that can actually do it, and sure enough, my personal opinion, this was match of the night. I mean, the ladies really showed the fuck out. What a match! What a fucking match! They're definitely far beyond the stars of the women's division. Obviously Ed and Rosa. I really think the Bunny is slotted awfully in AEW. Awfully. I would say they're the top 4 women in the AEW women's division. And in terms of in ring, obviously Britt is the best personality. In ring, she's dog shit. She has got better, I will say that. A lot less rolling around on the mat randomly, but still, I think those are the top 4 women in the women's division. So this match was fucking great. You guys know me. I'm a big Shida mark. I fucking love Shida. I loved the story of this where they have the plaque out there for Shida. So you think that she might win, but you kind of know, like I kind of knew she wasn't gonna win. So Deeb wins this match. I fucking loved it. And after she wins, she goes out and takes the little trophy plaque and attacks Shida with it. So I really love this. I love the whole building of this story. The 50th win, Deeb coming in, like, what the fuck is this? Beats her. Heel wins. The heel fucking wins. You know what I'm saying? So let's not fuck this up and put Shida's 50th win on Dark. Let's continue this and get Shida her 50th win by winning this program. Hopefully it's not just like a 2-match program. I would like this to carry for a good 3, 4, 5, 6 months, maybe even into Revolution next February, this coming February. That would be fun. I think these two could put on a great program. Although between now and February, how do you not have Shida win a match? You know what I'm saying? Even if they're feuding, they're gonna have matches in between. How do you not have Shida get that 50th win? So maybe it has to kind of happen soon. I think what they're doing is they'll build this to the upcoming Full Gear pay-per-view, and that's when Shida will get her 50th win and get back. So I think they wrestle again maybe, and Deeb wins again, because there is about a month between now and the pay-per-view. So I think they wrestle again, and then the third time will be at the pay-per-view with Shida taking her 50th win. So I really like it. I'm interested in this. Unfortunately, it looks like it'll be a short program in reality. If you really think about the 50th win scenario, you have to play that in to this feud. You can't not do it. So either way, I'm looking forward to it. Even if it is only a month-long feud, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So great match by these ladies. Darby's leaving the arena, and he gets word that he has a match against MJF next week, and then a limo pulls up in front of him. He basically starts getting ready. He's, come on, come out. Starts taking off his shirt and gear and shit, and he gets jumped from behind by some masked men. They beat him down, and out comes a guy from the limo in a mask. And obviously, if you look, all the guys in masks were the Pinnacle. So it was all the Pinnacle members there. Obviously, MJF coming out of the limo in a mask. So, interesting. By the end of the night, they say that Darby might not, because of his condition, right now the match is up in the air. Something like, I don't remember exactly if it was up in the air or called off or whatnot, but just adds another little kick to it. I'm guessing, obviously the payoff's going to happen at Full Gear with these two. So next up, we had Lio Rush. Lio? I don't know. Lio Rush tells Dante to hit him up if he wants help. Again, this is yet another Hardy-style gimmick. Can we diversify gimmicks a little bit? Tony Khan likes to do shit in groups, Let's do the same gimmick on 2 different guys at the same time. Let's do 2 gimmick matches on the same night. Let's do, back to back of the same thing. Tony Khan, blood here, then we'll do blood there. And then Tony Khan doesn't know how to do things sparingly. He literally bunches them in groups. He's literally me. Like if I were to book a show, I could have good ideas on booking shows and how to do some things. I couldn't book a full show every week. So as much as I criticize, the reality is, but Tony Khan is literally me. I'd go, Oh, I want a fucking death match here. Then I want a fucking street fight. Then, it's like literally Tony Khan will go street fight this week, street fight on Rampage, street fight next week, street fight. Yeah, and you're like, fuck, dude, can we change it up? Stipulation. Do we need stipulations every fucking 8-man tag, 8-man tag, 8-man? Yeah, dude, space it out, calm the fuck down. Don't do the same shit constantly in groups. We've mentioned that way back on other shows, where they just literally are doing the same shit in the same show or show back to back on shows, and you got to diversify yourself. You can't just fucking constantly do the same stuff, and you're literally doing two almost of the same gimmick. You go, oh well, he's doing whatever the fuck he's doing. I don't even know. Something, I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to remember, but but it's the same thing. It's the money gimmick, I don't know, whatever. Britt cuts a promo on the new TBS Women's title and basically says, now you guys can fight over the scraps, and she don't have to deal with them. So then we get Hardy versus this is the ladder match. Winner gets a title at the champ Kenny Omega. So we got Orange Cassidy versus Hardy versus Andrade versus Pac versus Archer versus Moxley versus the Joker. Most of us assumed it would be Hangman Page. So Hangman comes back. Hangman, gets a fucking crazy pop when he comes back. So definitely was missed. Definitely wasn't overshadowed by Danielson and Cole and CM Punk. So people are ready for Hangman. There was this fucking spot here where Andrade does a sunset flip on Pac off the top of the fucking ladder. What the fuck was he doing? I fucking was like, yo, I know I'm getting old because I'm sitting here fucking puckering my ass when some of these guys do some of this stuff. And I mean, shout out to both of them guys for that, for even like doing that shit. I couldn't even climb up 2 rungs of those ladders. I'll be honest with you. I do not like heights. I couldn't climb up 2 rungs of those ladders. These guys are doing sunset flips off the top of a 16-foot ladder. Fucking crazy. They landed pretty well too. I mean, it didn't look too scary when they landed. So I'm impressed with Andrade, man. I really am. Everything I've seen from him so far, I really wish they'd work him in there a little bit more. Then, like this thing with Archer, I don't know. It's getting old with me where he's running out with random guys that he beats up and then he attacks them out on the ramp, and it's getting lame. It's old. I mean, he did it a bunch of times. He comes out, he just attacks people. I don't know. It's not believable to me. There have been times where it's believable in the past when people have done it. I can't come off the top. I can't remember guys who used to do it. I think Cactus used to do it every once in a while. He'd attack a random guy at ringside, and maybe Vader. I got to be honest. I don't off the top have someone who used to do it a lot, but I really expected this match to be dog shit and just stupid all around. And I got to be honest, the match itself was really fucking good. And Hangman taking the chip, which, I mean, you expected that, obviously. He's the Joker. The one thing I don't like about this is, once he comes to the ring and he's the Joker, he's winning the match. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. But what else can you do, man? Sometimes you gotta, to have the surprise, you kind of got to give away the finish too. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, but, he downs a beer here. One of the things that I look in my notes, they're in Philly, so one of my things in the notes was he downed the beer and he should have just smashed it on his head like Sandman. That would have been pretty funny. A little homage, but not everybody wants to smash a beer can on their head either, so. All right, moving on to Rampage. Okay, they're doing the pre-match interviews with Mark Henry, and the one of the fucking lines here. Now, I said this a while back that 2.0, who they remind me of, and Punk says Daniel Garcia, a 23-year-old Punk, wouldn't hang out with the Nasty Boys' little brothers. Now, that popped the shit out of me because that's basically, I always felt like they were like the Nasty Boys with a touch of Macho Man and Anvil. You know what I mean? At least the one guy is. And for him to say the fucking Nasty Boy's little brother, that shit popped me. That really popped me, man. Then we get the match right after the promo. So we get Punk versus Garcia. The match was good. The kid's not a bad worker, man. Garcia's not a bad worker. He just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know about you guys. Maybe some guys like him. He's getting a fucking shitload of shine on AEW. There's guys that I'm fucking aggravated that they're not getting matches. And this kid's getting more matches in main events than, or big, even not just main events, but big matches on big shows than guys that I think deserve it, which kind of annoys me because I don't think this kid has any it factor at all. I really just don't. He does nothing for me. Maybe I'm in the wrong. Throw it in the comments. Do you think that Daniel Garcia has it? Do you like Daniel Garcia? Why do you like Daniel Garcia? Let me hear from you. Email me. Send me a message on Facebook or send us a message on Facebook. Comment on the video. Anything. I really just want to hear what people think about Daniel Garcia because I don't see the appeal. What's up, Eddie? Eddie's up in the chat now. What's going on, brother? Yeah, so anywhere you could get us. Twitter, this, that, the other, email, let's hear it. Comments. I just want to see. I want to see what other people feel about this kid. Then we get Lucha Brothers versus The Acclaim. Not that this is a big deal, but Penta literally just spits in the middle of the ring. I was just like, man, I hate to have to wrestle after that, and I accidentally roll up into the lube. Solid match by all these guys. I'm a big Max Caster mark, but he definitely needs to tighten up his selling, his timing, and his setups. Eddie says, I'll send you a message on Grindr. That was a good one, Eddie, you son of a bitch. He definitely needs to really tighten up that selling, timing, and his setups because he's got all the talent in the world. He's a pretty decent sized kid. He's got a good gimmick and a good look. I mean, I know I'm gonna get shit on for saying he has a good gimmick, but because I love the gimmick, I love the rapping gimmick that he's doing. I love the bars he puts out. Great shots, great one-liners. So. But he definitely has some stuff to tighten up. I mean, it'll get there, but those are some things he needs to work on. Then we get Jade versus somebody. I don't know who. I think it's that blue sky or I don't know, something like that. Velvet blue or I don't know. Decent squash match. Jade's still selling the chest with the arm on her chest bullshit. She definitely seems a little too real sometimes when she's in there as well. With her being, so new to the game, she could end up hurting somebody, man. She slams down, like when she goes for the pin, she slams the opponent's leg down. I mean, you could break a toe, an ankle, anything, a foot, Then at the end, when Rosa comes out, she slams the opponent's head down into the mat. Now, I mean, they both look pretty aggressive, you know what I mean? Pretty legit. Like she hit her head pretty good, and the foot actually really does hit hard, I've seen her do that before. Then as Rosa's coming out, she kicks her downed opponent in the rib while she's on her stomach, and again, that seemed a little too real. It seemed like she connected a little too hard with the point of her boot, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe she's so good at it that she's got me believing already, right? But and you guys know I'm a Jade mark, but the fact is she's green as goose shit. It's just a fact. She'll get there, but definitely some things she got to work on. And I said. Just got a nice message from a friend. You sound like shit. Yeah, I'm sick, damn it. What do you want from me? All right. Last up, we get Starks versus Brian Cage in a Philly street fight. All right. You got 12 minutes here for a street fight. This is actually ring time, not intros and all that. They got 12 minutes for a street fight, and they go to commercial about 5 minutes in. Like, what are we doing? You got 5 minutes left in the fucking show. Why are you having a commercial in your main event? You couldn't go to a commercial while they were walking in? Like, what the fuck is the problem? There's just something wrong with them and their commercial timings. It's fucking ridiculous. All right. Now, towards the end of this match, I hate how Starks hits Cage with the belt and then spears him and still cannot get the pin. You just hit the fucking guy with a metal plated belt and you can't get the pin. This is another Tony Khan thing that drives me nuts. Foreign objects mean abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Why have a foreign object that can't get the job done? Boom, hit with the radio, right? We get the Acclaim, hit somebody with the radio. Does it finish the match? No. Well, they're fucking heels and they're trying to finish the match. Let that finish the fucking match. That's what the fucking foreign object is there for. For the bad guy to win, the good guy not to look bad by taking a pin off of a clean pin. You know? So why do we have that foreign object? You know, you hit him with the belt, number one, and then you spear him, which is one of his moves. What are we doing? I don't know. Then they nut shots. Then he ends up winning with the nut shot on Cage, and from that he puts him in the Rochambeau and gets the pin. Now I know that's his main finisher, but the spear is one of his main moves. You would think that, okay, it's not his finisher, but he hit him with a fucking metal fucking belt in the fucking head, and then hits him with the spear, which is one of his main moves. You would think that would pin a guy. No. They still need to go on, hit him in the nuts, and Rochambeau him. Okay. Starks picks up the win. Interesting. I was expecting Brian Cage to maybe win that. Maybe they're going to save it for the pay-per-view. So we'll see. I don't know. At first I thought Brian Cage was somebody I really could get behind, but the more I look at him and such, and I don't know. I mean, there's so many other guys that I'd rather have in the world title picture. Can I see him at the TNT level? Definitely, but he's definitely not a guy that I see right now in the world title picture. Maybe down the line. I guess maybe there's just so many people right now that are worthy of that world title, and it's going to be maybe once a year that thing changes hands. So, it could be a long time before Cage even sniffs it, if at all. So, Starks is another one. I think he's better in the TNT role. He's definitely got star power, and he could definitely keep that title really interesting, So, but that's it, guys. I mean, that's my thoughts on both shows. Please, feel free to join me. You want to join the show? I'd love to have you. I'm rocking solo, so it's just me recapping and giving my thoughts. I like somebody to bounce stuff off, so if I could get a bunch of different guys, calling in that I could hear your opinions on a match or two matches or a segment, I'd love to have you on. If I get a bunch of guys on throughout the show, that'd be great. So please feel free to hit me up on Skype, and we'll get you on so you get your opinions out there. Shout out to Eddie and John in the chat there. Appreciate you guys. And as always, please like, share, subscribe. UncensoredAlliance.com. You find everything we do. Twitter at AEW Uncensored. Email AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. Facebook, you throw AEW Uncensored Podcast in the search bar, and we have a page and a group. They'll both pop up. Like the page, join the group. We're on all third-party podcast applications, including Google Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeart Radio, and iTunes. Please write us a review on iTunes. Oh, shout out to Michelle. Michelle's listening. I didn't know she wanted to she wanted that to be known since last time I mentioned it. She said, "Why did you mention me?" And like I said before, you want to join the show and call in, hit me up on Skype. Link in the description. We are live every Sunday, 3:05 Eastern Standard Time in the United States. Sunday, I think I said that. So, you want to join us live? That's it. So, thank you, everybody. I will see you next time. Peace.